Hi, I'm Miss Hearn. Let's get started. In this video, we're going to talk about teaching the MGF 1106 online course and setting up MyLabs and syncing the MyLabs gradebook with the D2L gradebook. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the content browser on the right and look in the instructor toolbox. There is a quick start guide here, which has things like some tips and the pacing for the course, depending on how many weeks the course is going to be. There's also instructions for honor lock. You will see in the quick start guide that you will want to reach out to the help desk, send them an email with all of your test dates and a list of the resources students are allowed to use, and they will set up the honor lock for you. And the reason for that is that honor lock works very smoothly for any assessments that are in D2L, but not so much with those that are outside of D2L. So they're going to have to install some workarounds. So please do reach out to the help desk. You'll see a course map, and then here we have what we're going to look at very closely, which is the MyLab Math Instructor Resource links. So I'm going to click on that. The first link is the instructor self-service link. We're going to come back to that when we sync MyLabs to D2L. But to save you some work, I believe it would be better for you to do a couple of things in MyLabs first. So first, we're going to go into the MyLab Math Assignment Manager. You can see now we're in MyLabs, but we didn't have to go outside to the MyLabs website and log in. The same thing is going to be true for the students. This is deeply embedded in the course, or each assignment they go to will just go directly, smoothly to the assignment directly from D2L, which is nice. But in order to make that happen very smoothly, we have a little bit of work to do. So I'm in the assignments list, and you will see there are a bunch of integrated review assignments. They're not part of the course, and they're really not necessary. When we sync with D2L, it's better that we don't have anything in here that we're not using. So what I recommend is that before you do anything else, go to the More Tools drop-down menu, click on Delete Assignments. Okay, be very careful not to delete any of the homework or module exams for modules A through F. But when it gets down to readiness check, chapter 1 skills review, and all of that, anything you don't want. So then I'm going to click Delete Assignments. So I'm going to go back to Assignment Manager and show you they're not there anymore. Just the 34 assignments that were designed to be with the course. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to be looking at the gradebook, but I want to show you how to get to the gradebook through D2L. So I'm going to go back to our course homepage, back into the instructor toolbox in the MyLab Math Instructor Resource links, and this time I'm going to go to the instructor gradebook. Okay, so I'm going to go to Grade Sync Settings. This is not how you sync the course, but it is important. You will see that right now it's set to assignment raw scores. The assignment points are not the same in MyLabs as in D2L. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on assignment weighted scores. So what this means is that, for example, if in D2L an assignment's worth 30 points and in MyLabs the student gets 10 out of 20, that's 50%, right? So then the weighted score in D2L is going to be 50% of 30, so 15 out of 30. And it does that automatically, and you don't have to make any conversion. Okay, so I clicked on assignment weighted scores, and now I'm going to scroll down and save. Okay, all right, so that's all we have to do in the gradebook in MyLabs, but we do have to go back into D2L. I'm going to go into the instructor toolbox, and I'm going to go into the MyLab Math Instructor Resource links, and now we're going to use instructor self-service. So click on that. You are going to use Manage Grade Sync. We're going to click on Manage Grade Sync. And since I have not set up the grade sync for this particular course, I'm going to click on Configure Grade Sync. Okay, we need to enable grade sync. And then we're going to need to, you see there's no list of assignments here, and we need a list of assignments. So we're going to click refresh list. Okay, so you can see here's the list of all the same assignments that we saw in MyLabs, but the status is disabled. So we're going to click to select the entire list. You click the box at the top, and we're going to click save changes. And then it's gonna take a while for the initial sync to occur. You can see up here it says most recent grade sync, and it says waiting for initial sync. And over here, all of these are still pending. You might wanna log out at this point, and close your browser and then come back in to see if it's refreshed. So I'm going to show you now a course where a little bit of time has passed. It only took about, 10-15 minutes at the most in between the pending and it updating. But once that time period has passed, you can go back in here and click on the MyLab instructor resource links again, click on instructor self-service again, click on Manage Grade Sync again. Okay, you can see in this class, the last time that the grades were synced was 4 hours ago. You can see down here all of these show as enabled. Okay, if I wanted to refresh the grade sync, you can click Refresh Grade Columns, and then it will shortly update the scores that are showing in D2L. All right, but we're not done quite yet. Just on this initial grade sync, what's gonna happen is the assignments are gonna go into D2L, but they're not gonna be quite in the right place. So let's go into our D2L gradebook by clicking on Grades. What we will see here is all the assignments that are in D2L are properly categorized and showing in our D2L gradebook. Okay, but since the sync has not occurred yet in this course, this is the one that I just initiated the sync, you don't see any of the MyLabs assignments yet. Now, once the grade sync, the initial grade sync occurs, you're gonna see the assignments are all enabled. And if we go into the D2L gradebook, okay, you see all the assignments that are posted in D2L here. And then look, now after the learning scenarios, you can see without category, we have the homework assignments from MyLabs and we have the exams. Okay, but they're not categorized properly. So we have to go into Manage Grades and we have to move them. Now, while we're in Manage Grades, I did find a problem with the MyLabs homework category settings. So let's go to the MyLabs homework category and we're gonna hit Edit. It should have read 10 points per item. If you look at the syllabus, it shows 10 points per item. So I'm gonna just change that from 5 to 10. So please do the same so that the points end up being correct in the grade book. It should end up being out of 1,000 points. So if you notice in your grade book that it's not out of 1,000 points, once you've imported all of these assignments, something's wrong. Double check that or reach out for help. So I'm saving and closing that. Okay, so now we're gonna go down to the assignments that we just imported. I'm going to select all of them. I notice they're not in order here, and I can never predict. Sometimes when I import them, they come in order, and sometimes they don't. So when they don't, we're gonna end up having to rearrange them a bit, but it's not too bad. I'll show you how to do that as well. But the first and most important thing is to get them in the right category. You can see right now, by the way, that the final calculated grade is showing as being out of 640 points, which is not correct. That's because these are not weighted correctly because they're not categorized. So I am going up to bulk edit. Okay, so on the bulk edit screen, you can change the categories very easily. It's over to the right. The right side is this category. And for each of the homework assignments, I'm going to select the homework, MyLabs homework category. And then when I get down to the exams, I'm going to select the MyLabs proctored exams. Now the points look right because the homeworks are worth 10 points and the exams are worth 90. I'm clicking save, and now when we come back into the manage grades page, you can see that now the MyLabs homeworks are under the homework category and the proctored exams are in the right category as well. But they're not in the right order, so I will show you how to arrange those. But notice that the points are correct. Everything's out of 1,000 points as it should be. So when you're ready to rearrange the homework assignments, you can go to More Actions, Reorder, and we're going to scroll down to the homework assignments, and we're just going to place them in the correct order. So A1 is first, that's number 1, A2 is second, A3 is third, A4 is fourth. And I like to save periodically and then start again so that, it just makes it easier for me to keep track where I am. But you don't have to, you can do them all at once if you'd like to. And I'm going to reorder the proctored exams, see A, B, C, D, and E, and then F. Click save. Okay, and now I have nice tidied up gradebooks for the students. I did notice there's a typo on homework, the D module. One of them is labeled D5 instead of D4. So you can click edit and then edit the name of it to D4 just to prevent any confusion from the students. So now if you go to the Enter Grades tab, you're going to see a list of all your students, and across you're going to see all of the assignments, including the MyLabs homework category and the MyLabs exams category. Now, the final calculated grade column, I personally like to set that to say a running average. And you can name it whatever you want. I also want to point out to you that if you go into the settings and the calculation options, you're going to see that the ungraded items are dropped. Because if you treat them as 0, if it's zeroed out, if it's not graded, then everything they haven't done yet is going to be put in as a 0. So, that would not accurately reflect how they're doing in the class. Only problem is that the students that skip assignments, they're going to think their grade's higher than it actually is. So periodically, you might want to send out an email and just remind them that the average that's showing might not be accurate if they have not attempted some of the assignments, and that it could be much lower if they have a bunch of zeros in there. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any tips to share, please post them in the comments section below.